Hello friends, welcome to Intuites.
Let's begin the class.
Just give me a second, guys. Let me share my screen. Yeah. What is happening? Are you guys able to open the Databricks, the portal? Oh, what is this? Okay. All right. Let me start. Let it come up. I think that is working okay now. Just read it. So we'll see that. Right. Let the that cluster to be started up. Then I will show you. Just hold on. Did you guys tried with that? Whatever I explained, you creating the storage account and accessing to the bricks and all.
Yes,
It worked.
yes, Samir.
It worked, right? What about others? Did you guys tried that? Apart from the gym?
Yes,
Okay. It worked for you as well.
it was good.
Okay. So in the meantime, let it run it. So this is the one way we can access your the Azure storage using the Databricks. Okay. So the next way is to let me find out plus plus here. The another way, second way, is through the SaaS token. We'll discuss that as well. The SaaS token is something like what is a SaaS token? Is called Shared Access Signature. This is also another way to access the storage. So what is the problem with the first approach in the access case? First problem is that when you somebody have this access keys, right? Okay, then the user will be have full access to the storage. Read, write, everything he will have. We don't have any control mechanism through the access key saying that this user will not have the read permission or the write permission. Okay. Second problem is we are directly putting these keys over here in the notebook. This is also a security threat because directly we are keeping the text, whatever you are getting the key, you are keeping it here. This can be solved through another mechanism which we in the following classes we will work on that. But the main problem is that whenever somebody have the access keys, then he or she has the full access to the storage. That is the problem. So you should have another mechanism where the we can control some um, the person of the permission. Okay. So that's where the next type of authentication will come. That is called the SaaS layer. Okay. So here the points. So the point is how we can create the SaaS and how we can control the SaaS. Okay. So we can create the SaaS on a uh, total on a storage level, and instead of that, we can create a SaaS token on a container level as well. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. So meantime, yeah, it is got started now. Now I will run this one by one. Just see that this is last time I showed that spark.config.cs set. and we have just given the our storage account, this one, and this is my storage access key. Okay, now let me run this. This is running, right? Now I can access this file using the ABFSS. This is a mechanism we are using. Okay, now this is returning. See, it is returning a file called return.csv. Okay, but if you want to see what exactly this is all about, the returns file and what that, then you need to wrap this inside a display command. Display. Okay, if you combine into a display, this one, and if you run this, then you will be able to see the path, the name, the size, and when it got modified, everything. Okay. Now, if you want to see the content of this file completely, then you need to say use the spark.read.csv. Just like in pandas also we are using, right? Data from .read underscore csv. The same way you can say spark.read.csv, then this path completely, and wrap it around a display. Because if you directly run this, the spark.read.csv, and if you put a path here, what will happen is it will return a data frame for you. Just run this. So it will return a data frame. Okay. So the output is a data frame. You see here, this is data frame data. And to display the data from the data frame, we will always write inside display. Or we can assign one variable to this data frame, and you can say the data frame dot display as well. You can do that. Something like this. Let's see. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
So something like that also you can do that. So assign one variable called db equals to this much. This is done. Now I can say db dot display. Okay. Now if I run this, it will give you the data in a frame. Okay. Here the problem is the header is not there. All these things. That manipulation we will see later because there is no header right now. Header is there, but header is coming as a first row. That is fine. We'll all these things we'll see. But this is the way we can read the files. Okay, very good. No questions, right?
No.
No questions.
Okay. Now I am showing you another good thing here. Suppose the same file you want to use just like a copy paste. Same notebook I want to use for another approach, but few codes whatever you written there, that I need it as well there as well. Okay. So that time what you need to do in this case is that click on the file, and we have an option called clone. Okay. Clone means cloning of this data. Just clone it, and I'm storing inside the inputs only, but the name I'm giving is Access Database Storage using SAS. Using SAS. Because the next we'll discuss about the SAS. Clone it. So it will create a another file under the same. If you see, go to the workspace here, there will be two notebooks will be there. One is SAS, another access case, which I cloned it. All right. So the way we can do that, and slightly we will change it here using SAS. Just giving a name here. Okay. So I think we are ready. Now this one we need to attach to the cluster. That is also done. Now let's see how you can work with the SAS. So for the SAS, let's go to the storage account, and this is our storage account, right? And you can directly create a SAS token for complete storage. If you come to storage, right, there is an option called shared access signature. You can just create it and whatever the things we can type it out. But that's not an ideal scenario because I don't want to create a SAS token for completely for complete storage. Here you can say read, write, list, all the stuff you can do it. But I will do it for a token, sorry, for a container. Let's put the container here. And since we are working on a container called practice, right? Inside the practice only we are giving this, correct? So what I will do on the practice, on the three dots, there is an option called generate SAS. Okay, as of now we are working on this approach. So the first way to create the signature at the storage level, but inside the content level, you can come to the containers and click on the generate SAS. Okay, to create a generate SAS, it will take some time, and you can assign through the account key or key one or key two that I explained you that key one and what is the difference between key one and key two, right? You remember?
Yes. Yes.
So I can go for a key one or I can go for a key two, doesn't matter. And in this is one more way. And if you click on the user delegation way, okay. So this is more of a Azure AD way. We'll see later, but right now let's go with the account key. And policy is fine. Permission, let's take. I want to have a permission called a read and list. List because I want to read the data from the storage, and finally I want to list the file as well. Read the files, right? So these two permission can be granted. This is advantage, okay? In the sense we can have some more granular data. I can have provide some access to the customers. Okay. So now I'm saying to read and data, and let it be this one, and let's work for HTTPS and HTTPS. Yeah, by default it will start at like almost like a 8 hours window, okay? Because the SAS always by default expired at 8 hours, but we can change it. But let it be like the default one. I don't want to change it out. And here another advantage is that we can allow the IP addresses. So suppose somebody have the system IP addresses, there we can put it here and provide the access to this. Okay. So this is also one of the advantages we have. So that I can provide the IP and all. So after filling up this everything, let's click the generate, and this blobs token, right? Whatever the token got created, I want to copy it. Okay, and I'm just pasting somewhere. This is the SAS token which I am creating. Alright, once it is done, then if I go to my notebook, here couple of uh, things will be changed. Okay, the way we are writing. No doubt we will do the config only, but I have noted down everything here. Just here, and this is the thing we need to do it. These are the 3 lines of codes we need to write when you are. I had don't remember, don't will not remember everything, but I will provide it, and this is the way you will write your SAS token. The first line is SAS spark.config.set something something, and it is like the SAS, and this is SAS, this is SAS. So what exactly will we change here? We need to change the storage account name, wherever the storage account is coming, we need to provide the storage account. So what is my storage account name? This is my storage account. Okay. So I will just replace in the first line. Okay. Okay. The FS is already there. So let's just copy it till here. Okay. In the second line as well, and in the third line as well. Okay. And finally, on the first 2 lines, no need to change anything. And only changes we need to do on the third line where it is asking the SSIS token key, right? So that time I need to provide my this keys. So that is under. All right. Are you good?
Yeah, Samir, we are giving permission for key one, key two, right? Like here we are giving read and list permission. So if I want to use that, I am the owner, so I want to use all the permission. But the key one is using only two permission, right? So is it for me also? It's working two permission only, or for everyone using the key?
Whoever is using the SaaS, whatever the permission it will work. So that will be for everybody. So whatever you given it. So here again one more thing.
Okay.
SaaS tokens again, if you ask, you will also not create the SaaS token as well. So you can ask the customer saying that I need a SaaS token for my complete team. Okay. So what they will do, they will generate a SaaS token and they will provide the list of privileges which you want. And see, list of privileges in real time, it's not that easy. Okay. Suppose you want a write permission, you want a delete permission. So we need some approval. So many approvals we need. Why we need it? What is the purpose behind that? Okay. If you not get the right permission on the storage account, what will be the problem? All this question is to be answered. If they feel that yes, as per your current development that is required, then we can create a ticket for the Azure admin people. They will create a SaaS token, and by keeping all your team members there, and they can just create it. And in that case, whatever permission is there for the SaaS, it is for everybody, not a single user.
Okay,
Okay.
Samir. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
got it.
or to the group. That's it.
Okay, Samir, yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now I think we are done with this. Let's run this. One second, the secret where it comes up. One second, guys. Let me just cross check one more time. These are the things actually we never write on our own. That is the problem, okay? And this is very hard to remember as well. Throughout my career, I never remember. I don't know if you guys are genius, you can do that. Secure doesn't exist. Let's go. One second. Here, why scope is required in this case? Because I want to see this problem again when I come through the secret. Just hold on, guys. I don't know. Actually, I went through the documentation as well, and this is where it is. You see the start line. This is the way I should do it. Instead of this, okay, I can use directly the keys here. I don't require any keys here. Okay. So what I will do here like this. So that option we will see. Okay. This is actually one more way you can create the secrets and get it. We'll next class we will see that. But now what I will doing is I'm just keeping this. This we can do it. Okay. This documentation is very helpful for the Azure. Okay. Connect the Azure Data Log Storage Gen2 and blob storage using the SAS token. You can write it. So instead of that, I'm just keeping the keys here. Okay. So the last line is something like only the keys. Now if I run it, I think it should work. Yeah. So it worked now. And same approach, I can display it. Yes, I'm returning the CSV. And finally, I'm able to read that. Fine. We are good, right? So this is the way we can write your SAS token. Making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the second approach. Third approach is called your service principle. Okay. Service principle approach is something like in this approach, there is another utility will be used from Azure that is called AAD. That is called Azure Active Directory. Okay. So if I say in a layman term, what is Azure Active Directory? I can say here it's like a bunch of roles will be there, and we are maintaining one in one place all the roles and responsibility in one place. And whenever it is required, we can access that services, and we can assign the roles to the particular user. Okay. So here, how it will work the service principle. So some high level steps I'm giving it. First is that register Azure AD application. Okay. Uh, for service principle. Second high level step is generate a secret. Sorry, secret. Sorry, secret slash password for the application. Third, set the sparkle panel. Okay. Once this all these things is done, then we can work on with the Azure directory or the service principal way we can generate it. Okay. And the first last would be assign role. So these are the four high level step I can say to work on your service principal approach. Okay. So for that, let's see. Are you following me still?
Yes.
Okay. Again, I am doing a clone for this so that I can create a new one. So let's say using service principal. You will also please create separate notebook so that you can also get some information like the hierarchy should be maintained properly. And here I want to say service principal. Now let's attach to the cluster. Now first step, you need to create, register the Azure Data application for service principal. So let's go to my portal. Just following. Everybody is there. Nobody is sleeping, right?
Yes.
So let's go to the your portal.azure directory and search for Azure Active Directory. Okay. So click on that. And here I will have a option called App Registration. Inside the Azure Active Directory, we'll have an option called App Registration. Just click on the App Registration here and click on the New Registration. Okay. So here I will say project hyphen app. This is my application which I'm planning to register. I can give any name here. I just doing that. Okay. So here we can go for multi-tenant, all these things we can. But in our case, it is very simple. It's a single tenant only because I'm using on my system only. But you can select multi-tenant based on your accessibility on the real time. So I'm just creating an app. Let's just register. Once it's registered, right, this app, couple of things will be there, okay, which is very much important for us. Okay, so the first, if you see here, there is a so this is one is your client ID and one is your there are a couple of IDs got created. Okay, one is your client ID, object ID, all this tenant ID, all these options are okay. So here we need two things. First is your client ID, whatever is there, and one is the tenant ID. Okay, so let's copy this. This is my client ID. I copied it. I'll go to my select storage here, and on the top I will write it. Okay, so I say client. I'm just creating a variable client underscore ID equals to in a double quote. I'll paste this. Okay, so whatever I have created it. This is my client ID, and same way I will create my tenant ID as well. So whatever the tenant ID is got created, that I'm just copying it here. So tenant underscore ID equals to, make sure that you copied exact the same one, the client ID to the client ID variable and tenant ID to tenant ID variable. Okay, it's all okay now.
Yes.
Okay, now once you created it, second step is, let's say we need to generate a secret and password for the application. Okay, generate a secret. So once we are in the AD, the app we register, on the left hand side there will be an option called, so this is the option where you can create your secrets. Now here I'm saying new client secret. Okay, I'm just description I'm saying description. You can X anything. This is for storage. Okay, and recommended approach is you can say 180 days, 6 months, 90 days. So what will happen is whatever the app registered you have created, the client and secret, that will be get expired in 180 days or 3 months or 9 months, and it will notify you whoever is the user for that. Okay, and he needs to come and create a new secret, and wherever it is being used, there you need to change it as well. Okay, so let's go with the approach of 6 months and add it. Full name. Mm, mm. Okay. Here, once you created this secret, right? Don't close it. Okay, don't close it immediately, because if you go back, you will not able to see this information. Two information. One is the value, one is the secret ID. I'm just very frank on this one. Once you done it, you need to immediately copy some value. So the value would be, I'm not interested on the secret ID. rather than I'm more interested on the value. So let's copy this value. This is most important, okay? Don't close it. And I will go to my notebook here, and here I will say client underscore secret equals to this. Okay. So these are the three things which I required when I am working with a service principal approach. Okay. As of now, it is okay.
Yes.
But on this one, please don't refresh anything, because once you refresh it and or go back to some pages, we will not able to see this value at all. This is the problem. Okay. So we should be more careful while working on the certificates and secrets. Okay.
But Samir, I have a question. But real time, right? How this every thing works? Okay,
Same.
always we need to
Same.
this particular thing page has
Same.
to be open.
Exactly
Or
the
in
same.
the production too, if they are using the production.
Exactly. So if you are using a SaaS approach, this is the approach only. So you are if you are using other ways, that is fine. If you are using a SaaS, this is the way.
Okay.
But it is not a recommended way, because
Yeah,
you
that's
will
why okay,
get
we have
expert.
to always open the application. So that's not
The main approach would be I will discuss when I am going to the last approach, the authentication type. So this is the third way I'm discussing.
okay.
When I go to last
Okay.
one, that is will be the approach. Okay. But few things still will use it, because this is more of external. Suppose let's take you are work. I'm giving a scenario where the SaaS will be very much helpful. This is a real time. Nobody will tell you this approach. Suppose you have a Power BI application. This I worked on, so I can tell you from my experience. Okay, and you have a Azure, right? So what happened is from the Power BI application, let's take another tool. I'm just giving this. Let's take how can tell the name of the tool. Let's take log analyzer. Okay. So what is the log analyzer tool is all about? It will read the Power BI logs. Okay. And since Power BI is a cloud application, okay, is a cloud application, and all the logs are stored inside the Azure. Okay, there is a Azure logs are there, audit logs. There, everything will be available on the Azure portal. So in this form of like, let's say which user logged in, how many workspaces are available, what is the data flow, what is the database, what is the secrets, everything will be stored inside the Azure. Here, what your requirement is, I have a tool which will analyze properly by reading the Power BI logs for the Azure. This is the third part, and you have a control for is Azure and Power BI. This is a typical scenario where SaaS will be, because your things are on a first party or the application wise, you are giving a access to the third party. And SaaS, the token which I showed you how to create and everything, is a very much helpful in case of the third party accessibility. If this is the scenario, your approach should be always on the SaaS rather than other any kind of. Make sense? I'm there. Hello.
Yes.
Bhagavan, answers to a question. Get it?
Yes. Got it. Got it.
Got it, right? So in this, if you suppose you are in a scenario where this is the scenario where you are working on, then the approach would be 100% Israel. Okay, and that should be expired in a 6 months. So whenever 6 months are expired, we need to generate the SaaS token again, and you need to give it to the third party and saying that boss, this is got expired, please change, so that you can access again for the last 6 months. All right. So on that approach, so the way I just period it. Okay, fine. I just copied it. Now let's run this so that I will assign all the variables to appropriate. Now the configuration part will change again. So that syntax again you can search it on the Azure documentation saying that connect Azure Data Lake storage using the service principle. I think in this document only it is there. Somewhere down. Let me check. Yeah, see, Azure service will happen. So this is the Python things. You can copy this. I just already did it. This is the way you can do it. Okay. So let's go right there. This is the last one, which I want to write it this format. Okay. Let me copy it. Let's go to my notebook and delete this and put this. And here, couple of things we need to change it. Okay. So the first thing we need to change the storage account across everything. So my storage account is nothing but my project.dbl. So on the all the 4 lines, I need to change the storage account first. That's the first approach I should do it. Then done. Now the first two lines, nothing needs to be added up. Now it got started like what exactly this application ID and what is service credential and one is the token. Here the directory ID is the token. That's what exactly it is all about. Okay. So here the first thing when I'm talking about the your application ID, okay, I'm talking about the client ID. So I will take this client ID as variable and instead of this variable in ID, I will put it my client ID as a variable. Okay, makes sense? It's not required double quote. This is a variable. It should be client ID. We are good. Did I? You got it right? What I did it here.
Yes.
Now the fourth line code is asking about the secret. So I need to take this client secret variable. Okay. So I need to paste it here. This is my client secret. And last one is the token. This is a very interesting. Here in between, so that was a variable I can keep it. But here the problem in the last line, in between in the string, I need to give this directory ID it is coming right in a square bracket. There I need to put the variable called tenant ID. How I will do it in the in between. Okay, here is the interesting topic. So here the concept of your f string from the Python will come into existence. Okay, so what I will do here in this case, from the start of the URL, I will write a f. You remember the f string? You remember the f string, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, the while printing F string, right? That
Yeah,
one, right?
correct, exact. So I will write a f here. Once I can write the f, on this directory ID which is there, I will put a like a flower bracket here and end with the flower bracket. And inside that, I can provide my variable, which is nothing but my tenant. This is the approach we should take it. Okay, now I have done a miss. One second, let me copy paste one more time. Here in the last line, I'm going to copy paste one more time the last line instead of the directory ID. Let's write here F and okay, and inside that I need to keep my tenant. Yeah, this is the approach we should follow it because when it is coming in between any variable, no, we need to embed that URL into the F so that I can use this variable. Okay, now let's run this. I think we are done with the configuration, and if all goes, we should not throw any error. Yeah, it got worked out, and now I can
I mean, there is a storage account is there. You didn't replace that one. Line number 5.
uh-huh.
Line number 5.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Thanks, thank you, thanks, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, see, still I have my all the I kept my all the secret in synergy. I gave my client ID, my client secret, and my tenant ID. So it is saying that there is a permission issue. Okay, so for that, what I need to do here in this case is go to your storage account. Okay, go to your since you are the owner for that storage, still is saying that this SaaS token don't have an access to this storage account. Okay, so for that, what I need to go? I need to go to my storage account, click on the storage account, and we have an option called access control IAM. Okay, the storage, click on the IAM and add the access, add role assignment. Okay, and here we want to search for a role called storage blob data. We can say reader contributor. I will go with the approach of contributor. Okay, storage blob data contributor. I need to select member. Okay, and once it is done, we can click on the next, and I will say user group or service principal. Click on the select members, and I will search for the service principal which I created. So I think project hyphen app. This is the one which you created the service principal. It will come up directly there. Okay, whatever the service principal you created, that will come up. You just need to search with the name, and I will select it. And I think I have assigned that service principal to the storage, review and assign. And we'll just take 1 minute or 2 minutes to assign that service principal to that role assignment. See here, this app got assigned with a storage blob data. And now if I run this, hopefully it should. As you see, I can able to return the CSV and I can able to read it. Fine. We are good with this approach.
Yeah.
Any questions? So this is the first way we have using the access keys. Then use some, what is this? This is the SAS. This is also SAS. No, this you need to change. This is called service principal. Okay. Oh, in the service principle, I have kept it the SAS. Okay, anyway, you don't commit this mistake. Huh? I have given one name and I'm writing the code differently. So I have given the using SAS, and inside that it is there for the SAS, and when I'm doing a service principle, it is there for the this one. Okay, so don't commit that mistake. So just change it out. Is that fine for me? Okay, now this is the third way. The fourth way is, this is all the things. And the fourth way, let's take another one, is called your clustered scoped authentication. Okay, clustered scope authentication. So what I will do, I will take the first one, the access keys, and I will clone this. And I will write it using clustered scope. Okay, and just clone this. Yeah, so here I will write using clustered scope. So what is a clustered scope is, so you are writing all the configuration steps in the notebook itself, right? So first of all, you are writing the configuration, then we are reading it. And instead of that, what I will do, the configuration which is there, that I will take it to the clustered level. So whenever the cluster got restarted, right, that time or cluster is available for you, automatically that configuration will take it up. I no need to write directly at this level on a notebook level. Okay. So what I will do, let me close this of the stuffs. Now parallelly I need to work on it. So let me duplicate this tab.
Some
Yeah, go ahead.
in that case, right? Okay, generally,
Mm-hmm.
if in the real time, right? If you have to
Mm-hmm.
moderate the company, the mid level company and all, the cluster and all
Mm-hmm.
created by the admin, so
Yeah.
they will write it everything, right? This information.
Yeah, but this is
Uh,
not the approach which I'm showing you. You should know for interview purpose, but this is
yeah, yeah.
never a recommended thing, because what happens is if you keep it
Mm,
as a clustered level, now it will be
mm,
applicable for all,
mm,
whoever is using. Let's take
mm,
the
mm,
same cluster is being used for data science and data engineering. So what will happen if somebody log in as a data science user, you will assign that role in the data engineering role, whatever you secretly created. Data engineering
Okay.
is fine, but other people also will have that access, right? So that time we need to create separate cluster, one for the data science, one for the data engineering. So
Okay.
we need to we need to think of the cost as well that time. Okay. So this is not a recommended because I can't put it as a cluster level. It's not recommended, but
Okay.
I am showing it at how you can do it.
Mm,
Okay. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Makes sense, right? What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's
Task
correct.
management. So in that time, what I need to do here in this case is I will go to my compute here and click on this my cluster and click on the edit. Okay. So I want to edit some things. And I will go to my advanced option, scroll down, and there are some Spark configs are there. So there will be some 4 lines, 3, 4 lines will be there, and I need to put some other lines. So it is like a key value pair. So what I will do, I will take first one is this, okay. Whatever the I have to mine, this one, something like this. Okay, this is my first line, and on the second line, I need to give the keys. It will gonna double put, I think so. Let me check. And I will take my line here. And here it is saying that this is a warning. You should not hard code the secrets on a plain text because the secrets are we are typing directly, right? I will show you in the next class. The approach would be we should not write the secret directly here. And this is a not a recommended approach actually. Okay. So, but you can just keep it here and just stamp it out. What happens? Maybe any syntax error or something. Just hold on, huh? Check it. Must have key and pair. Hmm. Okay, this will come here. Yeah. So it should be a key value pair. Like this should be a space in this one. And let's confirm and restart. Okay. So once I've done it, let it be restarted. Okay. Now I'm done. Now I will not write anything this. Okay. Because this all things I have done it on my clustered level. So I think if all looks good directly, I can access this because the configuration I have set it as a cluster level. Okay. Let me run this. Yeah. See, without writing anything configuration on my notebook, I can directly read the file whichever is available. Whatever the code I have, directly I can read the CSV file. Does that make sense? This approach?
Yes.
Okay. But I would say once you've done it, please delete it because I don't want this approach to be like next time also we'll do something. So I don't want to make it as a problem for this. So I done my with my demo. I will just delete this 2 lines. Okay. Make sure that this three lines will be there. Okay, make sure don't delete other stuff. Only this two line, whichever you added up. Okay, don't delete others and confirm and restart, and it should work. Let it restart and this will work. Okay, so you understand this approach. Now comes the final two approaches. Okay, so one is
This itself
Azure.
more confusing. This approach itself confusing all four. So we are adding more. How many total six approaches?
Yeah, another two is there. One is Azure Active Directory credential pass through
And Unity
and
catalog.
Unity Catalog. Yeah. So this is a recent addition. Okay. And this is the way right now in the industry is moving to this Unity Catalog. And previously it was through the Azure Active Directory credential pass through. And these two will be coming up in a premium tier only as of now. So I think you will not have this access to here, this premium tab, but I will show you. That's why I took the Databricks on a premium so that I can show you all options. That is fine. If you are not able to practice, please follow along the videos. That is fine. Okay. So let's understand the first approach, the Azure Active Directory credential pass-through, how we can approach it. So let's do that. Okay. Now whether my cluster got actually, yeah, whether my cluster got restarted, and let me run or clone this. Okay, let me clone this, and I'm saying instead of cluster using AAD Azure Active Directory credentials. Okay, credentials. Directory credentials. Please practice this all the steps. Okay. Okay. Now for this, what I need to do? So for this also, I need to go to my compute. Okay, and the edit. Click on the edit. Okay, and I need to activate one option here. In the advanced option, I have a tick mark here. It's called enable credential pass-through for the user level data access. Okay, this option needs to be activated. This option is for the Azure Active Directory, the credential first. So this is the first option we need to do. Let's confirm and restart it. Okay. Sorry for multiple and restart, but there is no other way. Okay.
Should we delete the notebooks also, Samir, as we practice?
Now you can keep it multiple. I have kept it multiple notebooks. If you see, one
Okay,
is
okay,
add the other name so that I can understand which notebook is used for what. Okay. Only
okay.
the problem I
Cluster.
did it is this two. In the SAS, I have kept the service principal, and in the service principal, I kept the SAS. That's otherwise, you should keep a name properly. Okay, you can
Okay.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's the cluster bring up. Yeah, cluster bring up now. And the next step would be you just edited one option in the cluster, and the next approach is something like this. Whatever we already did it. Okay. Here, what we need to do here is that go to the storage. Okay, whatever you did it, and click on the IAM here and add. Okay. Then whatever you did it to the service principal. Okay. Instead of that, add a role assignment here. Okay, and same role I need to assign storage. What is the blob data contributor? Next, and user group and service principal, and select the members here. But instead of that, I need to select my account. Okay, which I am running the Azure portal. So that I need to select instead of the service principal. I need to activate my account. Okay, and in this case, your all the roles will be come from the Azure Active Directory also. Okay, so in the Azure Active Directory, lots of roles, lots of things will be there, and from there you can select which user wants to accept the access, or rather than we can select the group as well. So group contains all the list member as well. So, but in this case, our is own only. I'm selecting my role only, and I'm selecting and I'm clicking review and assign. So there will be two roles will be assigned, one for the service principal and one will be for my user. Okay. Now what I need to do? Nothing. I have done the settings. Now I can directly run this. So let me attach to the cluster this node. Okay. Now since I have logged in with the same account, whatever I have given in the Azure portal to the Databricks, it will authenticate to the storage. Okay. Now we run this. And I can able to read the CSV now. If this is making sense, right? What I'm trying to do here, guys, are you good?
I guess one practice of ours, we'll have a lot of doubts, and then we can ask you, Samir.
Yeah, yeah,
When
sure.
you're doing it, it is easy, but when we
Yeah,
do it,
yeah, yeah,
we'll see the real picture.
yeah. So these are the ways. So how many approaches I saw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unity catalog approach, I will take it in a very later in the stage, not now. There's a sixth approach, but you can practice all these 5 approaches, whatever I discussed, to access the storage account. Okay. And tomorrow we will have the class if you want. Otherwise, I'm fine. Okay? Let me know on the chat if you want it. I can take it. Else, I can take a rest. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, okay, Samir.
Yeah. I think I'm done for today because you need some more practice. All these 5 approaches. It looks easy, but not that easy. You should be very careful while doing it. Follow along the videos. We will definitely will get it. Okay. And I'm giving the code for the SaaS token and the service principal raw code. You just paste it along with the different. Okay.